Hello, lovelies. Today we are talking about high chairs. I don't know why I feel like I have to do that, like raise the roof on the high chair. Okay, so I'm in a sea of high chairs because fortunately for you, we went all out and bought iterations of every kind of high chair that you could possibly need or want. So that's what we're doing today on One Mom's Opinion, talking high chairs, high chairs. Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about today is what I sort of like to refer to as the LayzBoy of high chairs. And that is your big old high chair that everybody's seen, everybody has one of these around, right? Now, there are so many good things about this. One being, it is really loungy for your baby. And it's perfect like when you have a little one and they can't hold their head up quite, well not can't hold their head up, but they can't sit up on their own quite yet and everything. This is great because you can put them in it. I would drag it into the kitchen with the kids. It's kind of nice because then they can be playing. It has this really huge tray, which is nice. They can be playing, you can be cooking, they're just hanging out, okay? So it's awesome for that. So I think this is a really, really good one for a starter high chair when you're getting going. Now, there are things about it that I hesitate a little bit on. And the biggest thing is because I live in a fairly small apartment. And the thing about it is it's really big. Like, I mean, it's really big. This takes up a really good portion of our kitchen when it's in there, where you're walking around it and that kind of stuff. So that is my one hesitation. I feel like if you live in a lovely big house, I'm so jealous of you, by the way. But if you do, then this is probably fantastic because you can just put it in the corner. It's a great, great starter high chair. This particular one, I have to say, is a little rough as well because it has a lot of nooks and crannies that food gets caught in, and it does drive me nuts. So, because obviously your kids are throwing food around and all that kind of stuff. So, I would be wary of that when you're buying them. Look and make sure there aren't a lot of holes and stuff like this thing. I'm constantly sticking my finger in there, like trying to get the food out. You'll be happy to know that I cleaned it for you. I didn't actually. That's so gross, right? And the other thing about this one is it has the cloth up here, which is great in theory because you can throw it in the wash. I have to say, in practice, this is maybe just me because maybe I'm just like an overwhelmed person, but it doesn't get washed very often, so it's pretty disgusting because there is food crusted all over this, and which I'm sure you can actually see from where you're sitting. So I would recommend, if you're going to do it, get one that has a plastic that you can just wipe down. That sucker, I mean, that would just make the sucker so much nicer. So I love it because you put the baby in it right away, drag them in the kitchen with you. It gives them a sense of independence. But just be wary of your nooks and crannies, and also if you're into cleanliness, then the kind of fabric that it uses. Okay. Okay, so the second high chair is what I like to refer to as sort of the Cadillac of high chairs. Although actually I don't know, is Cadillac a good car? Maybe the Lamborghini, or it's like the Tesla of high chairs. Okay, this thing, I love it. 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 It's by BabyBjorn, and the main reason I love it is because there is nowhere on here that things can get stuck in. Okay, it's just smooth lines, you know what I mean? So it's super easy to clean. I mean, if you look down here, you can see that even the foot place, what do you call it? Place for their feet, you just wipe that sucker off, okay? So I love, 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 love this one. The one thing with it is it's, you can't really use this when they're really little. They have to be able to sit up on their own to be able to use it. So it is for when they're a little tiny bit older. But the other thing I love about it is look at this. You're sitting here and you just pull them up to the table. It can go right under there, which is so fantastic. So they feel like they're part of the family. I mean, to me, that's just ideal. The other nice thing about it is you just pull up this, and then there you go. Then you have your own little high chair. I would say the only drawback with this one versus some of the other ones is your tray is very small, so stuff does get all over. But I'm going to put a link down below to some plastic sheeting that I use over our carpet that works really, really well. It looks really ugly, but it works really, really well. But that is the one thing to keep in mind, is that it does have a little bit of the tray. But let me show you something that's so fancy with this one. Ta-da! I just take this sucker off, wash this, da-da-da-da-da, look how little it is, and then bring it back over and I put it back on, okay? And the only other thing that I would say about this one is, if your baby has really fat legs, like my daughter did, when she was little, she's a baby, she's little, you know, I love those little legs, but they did sometimes get a little bit squished in there, so they need to have a little warning, like extra chubby baby legs don't always fit in there. But you know, we worked it out and it was fine. Actually what we did, we just normally leave the tray down and then pull her up to the table. And the last thing that I love about this is, this folds down to nothing. So for us, where we live in a small apartment, I mean, it's amazing. You can literally fold it down to nothing, put it next to the refrigerator, and store it for many, many years. Because my thought is, like, I don't know, maybe I'll have grandkids one day, which is weird to think about, but I might. And this to me is one that I could actually keep until then to use later on in life. So it is a little bit pricey, but I feel like this is one of those things that maybe you want to invest a little bit more money in, because you might have it for the rest of your life, because you know, maybe pass it on down. This is my children's heirloom. You're looking at it. So the final chair is what I like to call the big kid chair, okay? And I love this because this is what kids get into right before they're ready to sit on their own, but they still need a little bit of a booster seat. And to me, this is so sweet, because this is what you put them in when they're ready to sit at the table, they want to be a big kid, you know, they are ready for the adult table. And to me, this is kind of a nice final step. So maybe you have your big high chair for when they're really little, transition into the BabyBjorn, and then you move them into this. This is amazing because it's really cheap. I think that I literally got this for $5 at a consignment store. I mean, these things are like growing on trees. So it's really nice, super easy. Just throw it on a chair. You know, you put it on, put the strap on the back. And the one thing about it is it is, again, a little difficult to clean. Don't want them too closely. It's kind of disgusting because there's all these crevices and stuff, but it's all plastic, so you can just stick it in the sink. And you'll notice that my mom made this lovely little cover for it for my son, because everything he owns is pink. So she was trying to make it a little bit more blue for him. One other thing to be aware of is it is going to make your chair kind of disgusting. So I might choose a chair that's not like this, because this has ruined our chairs. That use like a plastic one, because the kids are going to get food all over everywhere. But this is nice, you know, you can bring it with you. Your kid feels like a big kid, which is so much fun. It's just one of my favorite stages, when they pull up to the table and they're eating there with you. It's so lovely, isn't it? So I love this. Great transition piece, especially for $5. I mean, come on, go buy yourself